Your brain has a hidden mode that creates success instantly. Your brain is not broken, it is simply waiting to be activated. Your mind was never meant to feel stuck, confused, or powerless. Every time you think you are not good enough, it is not because something is wrong with you. It is because your brain has been running outdated programs. The truth is, your potential has been dormant, not damaged. And when the right frequency reaches your mind, it wakes something powerful inside you that has been waiting all along. Every limitation you feel is a signal that your mind is ready to evolve. That uncomfortable feeling of frustration is not failure. It is your mind pushing against the walls of its old conditioning. When you start feeling tired of repeating the same patterns, it is your subconscious asking for an upgrade. Limitations are not signs that you should quit. They are invitations to expand, to tune into a higher state of awareness, and to finally move beyond what once kept you small. Self-doubt is not your personality. It is a mental pattern you learned. You were not born doubting yourself. Doubt was taught, reinforced, and repeated until it felt like truth. But patterns can be changed. When your brain enters the right frequency, it stops replaying the past and starts creating new beliefs. This is where confidence is no longer forced, but becomes natural, automatic, and deeply rooted in how your mind now sees the world. The moment you change your brain state, your life begins to change. Your brain controls how you see opportunities, how you respond to stress, and how you show up in the world. When your mental state shifts, your perception shifts. Suddenly, problems feel lighter, decisions feel clearer, and you stop reacting from fear. You start responding from power. This is not mindset talk, this is neuroscience. Change the state of your brain, and everything around you begins to follow. You don't need years of struggle, you need a new frequency. So many people believe growth must be painful and slow, but the brain does not change through effort alone. It changes through frequency. When your brain is exposed to the right rhythmic patterns, it naturally synchronizes into higher states of focus, creativity, and calm. In those moments, clarity feels effortless, and your inner resistance simply dissolves without force or pressure. Brainwave entrainment allows your mind to reset in minutes. Your brain is electrical. It runs on rhythm. Brainwave entrainment uses sound frequencies to guide your mind into powerful states that meditation can take years to master. Within minutes, your nervous system relaxes, mental chatter fades, and your awareness sharpens. It feels like your brain has been gently realigned with its natural intelligence, allowing you to access calm confidence on demand. When your brain aligns with focus, everything becomes easier. Focus is not something you force. It is something your brain naturally enters when it feels safe and regulated. In this state, distractions lose their grip. Tasks that once felt overwhelming now feel manageable. You begin moving through your day with intention instead of exhaustion. And slowly, you realize that productivity is no longer draining your energy, but restoring it. Clarity is not forced, it is tuned. Your mind is like a radio station. When it is off frequency, everything feels noisy, confusing, and heavy. But once it tunes into the right signal, clarity flows in naturally. You stop overthinking. Your intuition sharpens. Answers come without struggle. This is what it feels like when your brain is no longer fighting itself, but working with precision and ease. The same brain that creates fear can create fortune. Fear is not your enemy. It is simply misplaced energy. The exact brain circuits that fuel anxiety can be rewired to support creativity, leadership, and abundance. When your mind enters elevated states, fear no longer runs the system. It becomes information instead of limitation. And in that shift, you begin to see opportunities where you once only saw obstacles. Your thoughts are the architects of your wealth. Every outcome in your life begins as a thought pattern. If your brain is conditioned for scarcity, it unconsciously blocks opportunities. But when your brain is tuned to clarity and confidence, it starts building new realities. You think differently, you choose differently, you act differently. Wealth stops feeling distant and starts feeling inevitable because your mind is finally aligned with creation instead of survival. An anxious brain searches for problems, a focused brain finds solutions. An anxious brain is constantly scanning for danger, replaying worries, and preparing for the worst. But when your brain enters focused frequencies, it stops catastrophizing and starts innovating. Instead of seeing threats, you see pathways. Instead of freezing, you move forward. This shift is subtle at first, but it changes everything about how you navigate challenges in your daily life. Your mind is designed to succeed when it is properly guided. Your brain wants direction. Without guidance, it defaults to old habits and emotional loops. But when it is guided into coherent states, it begins mapping clear paths toward your goals. You no longer feel lost or overwhelmed. You feel supported by your own inner system, as if your mind finally knows where it is going and how to get there. You are not behind. You are just tuning in late. There is no race you are losing. There is only alignment you are entering. Every delay you experienced was simply your brain preparing to operate at a higher level. Once your frequency changes, time feels different, progress accelerates, and you realize that everything you thought you missed was actually waiting for the version of you that is now waking up. The frequency you live in becomes the life you live. Your emotional state is not random. It is a frequency broadcast that shapes your reality. When your brain resonates with stress, life reflects struggle. But when it resonates with coherence and calm, life begins responding in ways that feel supportive. Opportunities appear, connections strengthen, and you start noticing that the world mirrors the harmony you cultivate within your mind. Doubt dissolves when your brain remembers its power. Doubt only exists when your brain is disconnected from its full capacity. Once you experience elevated states of awareness, something ancient wakes up inside you. You no longer need constant reassurance. You trust your instincts, your inner voice grows stronger, and slowly, doubt loses its grip, not through resistance, but through remembering who you really are. This is how you stop surviving and start creating. Survival mode is exhausting. It keeps you reacting, chasing, and protecting instead of expanding. When your brain enters creative frequencies, your life stops feeling like damage control. You begin designing instead of defending. Your choices become intentional. Your actions align with vision. This is the shift from coping to creating, from enduring to evolving. Your nervous system is the bridge between dreams and reality. Every dream you hold must pass through your nervous system to become real. If your system is overloaded with stress, your goals feel unreachable. But when it is regulated, your body becomes a powerful transmitter of intention. Your thoughts carry weight, your emotions guide you forward, and your actions finally match the life you envision. When your brain feels safe, your potential wakes up. Safety is not about your environment, it is about your internal state. When your brain feels safe, creativity blossoms, courage expands, and your true intelligence emerges. You stop shrinking to protect yourself and start expressing your full capacity. This is where growth becomes natural and success feels like a return to something you have always known. Every wealthy life begins with a calm, focused mind. Wealth is not created in chaos, it is born from clarity. When your mind is calm, you make decisions from wisdom instead of urgency. You build long-term vision instead of short-term escape. And over time, that inner stability becomes the foundation for external prosperity that is sustainable, aligned, and deeply fulfilling. You are allowed to want more and receive more. Desire is not greed, it is guidance. Wanting more means your soul recognizes its own expansion. When your brain stops associating growth with danger, it opens to receiving. You stop blocking blessings, you stop minimizing yourself, and you allow life to meet you at the level of abundance you were always meant to experience. The brain you use today decides the life you live tomorrow. Your future is not created by luck or chance. It is shaped by the mental state you cultivate right now. Every time you tune your brain into clarity, confidence, and coherence, you plant seeds for a different tomorrow. Small internal shifts compound into massive external change when your mind becomes your greatest ally. This is not motivation, this is mental mastery. Motivation fades, mastery remains. When you understand how to guide your brain, you no longer rely on willpower or discipline alone. You operate from alignment. Your mind works with you instead of against you. And in that space, consistency feels natural, not forced, because your system is designed for growth. When you master your mind, you master your money. Money follows attention. When your mind is scattered, your finances feel unstable. But when your brain is trained to focus, plan, and envision clearly, wealth becomes a system, not a struggle. You stop making emotional decisions. You start building structures, and abundance begins to flow as a natural reflection of your inner order. Your success is not outside you, it is inside your frequency. Nothing you seek is missing, it is simply misaligned. When your internal frequency shifts, the external world reorganizes around you. Opportunities find you, people respond differently, life feels less like resistance and more like response. This is the invisible mechanism behind effortless success that so few ever consciously access. The mind you train becomes the life you own. Your mind is not just a tool, it is the architect of your reality. Whatever patterns you reinforce become your normal. When you intentionally train your brain to operate in elevated states, you are designing a future that reflects clarity, confidence, and freedom. This is not self-help, this is self-ownership. You were not meant to live in fear, you were built to expand. Fear is a signal, not a sentence. It shows you where growth is calling. When your brain shifts into higher coherence, fear stops dominating your decisions. You begin exploring instead of retreating. You trust your capacity instead of doubting it. And expansion becomes your natural state, not something you fight for. This is your moment to rise above old limits. Every old version of you was simply preparation. You were never meant to stay confined by past beliefs. As your brain aligns with higher awareness, you step into a reality where limitations lose authority. This moment is not about becoming someone new. It is about returning to who you were always capable of being. Wealth is not chased, it is attracted by alignment. When your mind is calm and clear, your energy changes. People feel it, situations shift, opportunities begin approaching you without force. This is the difference between pushing through life and allowing life to meet you. Alignment is not passive, it is powerful, and from that state, abundance becomes magnetic. Your next level is not harder, it is clearer. Growth is not about adding pressure, it is about removing confusion. As your brain settles into higher coherence, your vision sharpens. You know what to do, you know when to act, and you trust the timing of your own evolution. This is where your next chapter unfolds naturally, without struggle. Comment "I activate my mind" if you are ready to unlock your brain power and personal wealth. This is your invitation to step into mastery, not someday, not when things are easier, now. By choosing to activate your mind, you are choosing a new relationship with your thoughts, your focus, and your future. The moment you claim your power, your brain begins responding. This is the first step toward the wealth, clarity, and freedom you deserve.